So, for all of you, when you first hear the title Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, are you, like, instantly hooked, or do you need to know more to kind of be like, oh, that's something I'd like to be a part of?
I think I needed to know a little bit more, but I knew that it was an exciting idea, and I knew that a lot of people loved it, you know, because the book had been so successful, and so I knew there had to be something to it, you know. And so I was very curious to read the script, and I was so surprised because I think you expect it to be really silly when you hear the title, and it wasn't at all. It was, you know, very straightforward, it was very realistic, and it really sweeps you up into this fantastical world, you know, where you feel like this really could have happened, which was kind of a shock to me.
Yeah, to me, obviously, you read it and with any script, you're never going to go on the title entirely. It's going to take some investigation. But I've always been a fan of these kind of creature features and kind of B-movie titles, you know, wittily done. You know, they're like kind of Tin Pan Alley songwriters. It's a very, the idea of getting the right title with the right kind of spin on it is, they can be very clever. But obviously, it's all about the material in the end. But when I heard the title, it made me smile. And then I thought, well, that's either going to be good or bad, you know. And I read the script, and luckily it was good.
Now, what kind of preparation do you guys have to do to play vampires? Because these are vampires that we haven't necessarily seen before. Is there any kind of, I don't know, is it just a script that you work off of for that?
Yeah, well, luckily, in this particular piece, there was a book that you could always refer back to, and there's a wealth of information in that book about certainly the character that I'm playing in there, as a lot of the book is seen through his eyes. So there is always a temptation to play a vampire or work out, or how would a vampire react and respond in this situation. But fundamentally, you're looking for a truth amongst this kind of ludicrous concept of a film, and that's where I kind of try to work from, and not to try and be affected as a vampire.
And for you, I mean, you're playing Mary Todd, so obviously a real person. Now, do you have to do any kind of research into her, or is the book and the script enough for you?
For me, I definitely wanted to research her. I wanted to make sure I knew exactly who she was and what she was like, and that I tried to bring as much of that reality to this character as possible. And I knew once I set foot on set that I was going to have to let go of a lot of that, because it's not, you know, the Mary Todd Lincoln story. So there's going to be things in the portrayal that aren't necessarily accurate. But I think for the most part, it really blends nicely with the real history of, you know, both of those characters. And even in the relationship in the later years, it really reflects what they were going through, you know, in their later years in their relationship. So it was kind of nice to me to see how I could relate everything to her actual story, and I really didn't have to think about the vampire side of it at all.